Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in the last video on the Longiflora and Lily, I said I was going to, practicing with flexible flower paste. I've tried loads and loads of different recipes. A lot of them have all sorts of weird ingredients in them, like xanthium gum and various other things. And to be quite honest, I haven't been satisfied with them because the last one that I tried, you had to cook it. And then I found when I'd used it, it was alright, it did stay flexible, but then the next day it was no good for doing anything with. So I wanted to find a recipe with a paste that you could use like normal flour paste, and you could keep it. If you live in a hot climate, then obviously you would have to keep it refrigerated, but I found with this paste that I'm going to show you now, that I haven't had to refrigerate it. I've left it in my workroom the same as any other paste, although it is winter time. We're a couple of weeks off Christmas, so it's not warm. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring it down to my board and I'm going to show you all the ingredients that are in it, and they're all things that most of the ingredients most people will have in their cupboards or will be easy enough to obtain. These you can put any bowl or jug or whatever else you want on it to weigh your ingredients in. Now I've already weighed out all the ingredients that I need here, so I'll just run through them for you. I've got 70 grams of corn flour, or some people call it cornstarch, in this bowl here. In this bowl here I've got 35 grams of icing sugar, or some people call it powdered sugar. It is icing sugar. It is sugar. Then I've also got, where are we? In this little jar here, I've got 10 grams of glucose syrup. You can use honey, but I'm warning you, if you use honey, it will come out a yellowy colour. So you're better off if you can get hold of the glycerine. You can get it in, glucose. You can get that in your supermarket. There's 20 grams in there. Then I've also got 10 grams of glycerine. Now this is the glycerine in here. It is very thick, is this, so a warning. Check your spoons, don't bend, because it is very thick, is this. You can get it in the baking section in supermarket. Most supermarkets should sell that. Right, so that's one of the other ingredients. Now the other ingredient I've got is coconut oil. Now here in the UK, because it's not a hot climate, it comes, I'll show you the, it comes like this in a tub. I got it from a stall in the market, and it's a Caribbean stall, so that is probably one of the best places to get it. You might not get it in your supermarket, but if you can find a Caribbean trader somewhere, they will more than likely have it. So that's that one. And then we've also got, and you can also use white vegetable fat for that, Crisco or Trex or white Flora or anything like that. As long as it's a vegetable fat, that's fine. Then we've got boiling water. I've got my kettle here. I've already boiled the water. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to measure that out now. And it's all in weights, is this. So put whatever you're going to put it into onto your scales. Put your scales on and press your tare button to make sure that you're down to naught. And I want 40 grams of boiling water in here. Now the reason for that is I need to, hang on, I haven't got it on grams. What did I say? 40 grams, we're nearly there. There we are, 40 grams. So I'm just going to put that kettle down there on the floor out of the way. Get rid of my scales, because I've weighed everything else out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add all of the ingredients, the liquid ingredients, into this boiling water. So first of all, in goes the glucose. In goes the glycerine. I'm going to stir that into the water because it'll need the hot water to melt this. The other ingredients are not too bad, but I need to get as much as I can. I have actually overweighed what I've got in here because I knew I wouldn't be able to get it all out of the container that I put it in. It should come off of your spoon while you're doing this. Now in the original recipe that I found, they rubbed in afterwards, but I find it's better to put it in to your hot water so that it melts along with your other ingredients. The reason for that is because I found when I'd mixed all the other ingredients together that it was rather lumpy, and it took a lot more kneading than necessary. So we just keep on stirring this until we've dissolved the coconut oil and the glucose. The problem is with some of the flexible flour pastes, they have to be cooked, you know, and they're steamed and wrapped up in foil and all sorts of faffing about. But I mean, if it doesn't keep, there's no point in doing it, because you can't always guarantee, depending on what flours you're doing, that you're going to be able to use it all in one go. Right, I've got most of it melted there, so I'm just going to leave that to stand there. So now I've got a bowl here. Oh, sorry, I forgot the Tylos powder. I've got that weighed out as well. The Tylos powder, we've got 10 grams of Tylos powder in there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the dried ingredients into this bowl. So in with the corn flour, in with the icing sugar, in with the Tylos powder, and then I've got a fork here. I'm just going to mix all that together now, so that's evenly distributed before you start adding your liquid into it. That looks as though it's more or less melted now as that. So just get rid of these bowls out of the way, all these containers, and then we're ready. So the next step now, and you can multiply this up by doing more, it depends on how much paste you need. So the next thing to do now is to add your liquid ingredients into your dry ingredients. Try and get everything in there. I always give everything a scrape round to make sure I've got anything in, because if you've measured things out, you want your measurements to be right. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start stirring all this together. Now there's a lot of kneading involved in this to bring it all together. Unlike doing pastry or anything like that, you'll need to spend a lot more time kneading it. But if you can get it all together like this first of all, and it can be quite sticky, so you could rub some white fat onto your hands before you start doing this. Get that off the fork. There we are, got everything in there, and I'm going to go in with my hands and start bringing it together. Now when you've brought it all together and you've really kneaded it, you're going to have to leave it to stand to set, because you need the Tylos powder to get working. Some paste, like the flour paste that I've worked with, that some of you probably used, you can use that straight away. So we're bringing that together into a paste like that. So I'm just going to get rid of that bowl now, put some of these in here out of the way, put that over there, and then we can give it a good knead. A little bit come off there. and you need to keep kneading this probably for around about 10 minutes. I'm not going to do that, but I have got some more that I made this morning that's already been kneaded and left to stand, so I'm going to have a look at that to see how that is now. So what I'm going to do with this now is I'm going to put that in a plastic bag. I've got some plastic bags under my worktop here somewhere. So you get the resealable plastic bags. You can wrap it in cling film if you want before you do that, but cling film does breathe, so don't just put it in cling film. You do need the resealable bags, otherwise your paste can go hard. So we'll put that into there. Now you need to get all your air out, like that. Seal that up, leaving a little bit of a gap there. Get all your air out of it, and then seal it up. Then you can leave that to set. Now I've made some here. Where is it? I have got some here somewhere. I'm going to find what I've done with it. There it is. This I made this morning. So we'll have a look at this now and see what this is like. See, it's been stood a few hours. I'll just get a small piece of it out. Like that. It's not completely white, so if you wanted to get it completely white, you could put a whitener into it. If you're doing coloured flowers, it doesn't matter. But I'll show you a rose that I've made and one that I'm working on that I'm going to do the next video for. So I haven't completed this rose yet. I know I've done roses loads of times, but I thought it was the best one to start with to show you, because I haven't had to go with any other flowers yet. So what you need to do is to keep pulling it and stretching it now. Same way as you would do if you were putting colour into your paste. Give it a good work, get some wally behind it. Now it's getting quite stretchy now, look. And it rolls really thin, does this. I'm going to show you a piece of paste that I cut out, nearly a week ago, that's been left out. Look, here it's getting stretchy now. So you just keep on kneading it until you get it so that it stretches out like elastic. As I say, I only made this morning, so this is quite fresh really, so probably better if it's left 24 hours. You will still need to knead it before you use it, but it will come together better. Now this has gone to bed better, rather than putting the fat in after I've mixed all the ingredients together. It's going to come together better because I've put it in with all of the wet ingredients, so it's not lumpy like it was before. I mean, it came together eventually, it just meant a lot more kneading. So I mean, that's not doing too bad now, considering. And it just does roll really thin, does this as well. Right, so I'm going to put that back in with my paste. We'll put it back into that bag because that's the one that I made this morning, not mix it up with the other one that I've only just made now. Put that back into there, get the air out of that, seal that up. If my little seals will go together. Where are we? Don't know what I've done there. That's it. I think I've got it. Yeah. No, I haven't. They play havoc with you sometimes when you're doing this. Because this hasn't got the coloured sealing like the other bags have. It's a bit more difficult to see, especially on my white board, so you won't be able to see it. I'll sort that out later. I'm not going to mess about with it now because I can do that when I finish the video. Now what? I've got a rose here that I've made. Now the problem with this one is that I did actually put this in front of the fire to dry, but look, this has been made about 3 or 4 days, and it's still quite flexible. This is a piece of paste out of the same paste that I made this rose with. Look at that, and look how thin I've got it. I don't know whether you can see that on camera, but that's really thin, and it's quite strong is that, and you can crease it and do what you want with it. Anybody who does modelling, if they're doing clothes on figures, particularly female figures and that want flowing dresses on and things like that, this would probably be brilliant for doing that sort of thing with it. Then of course I've put my calyx on as well, but you could bend that back if you wanted to now, because that's dried, so I can bring that back a little bit, as it should be on a rose, so it stands off from your flower. And the leaves are also made out of the same stuff as well, so these are quite these haven't been in front of the fire, so they stayed quite flexible as well. And then the rose that I'm working on, I'm going to do a video on it. I've got part way with it, is this one. I'm doing red rose, so I'm going to finish that off and do another video, and then what I'll do is I'll upload them both around about the same time. So that's the flexible flower paste, and as before I'm going to put the recipe down below the video as well, so that you can copy and paste it on and type it, print it out for your own use. So it'd be a good idea to hear back from some of you as well, what you think about it and how you've got on with it. So I'll just leave that rose there for now, so you've got something to look at. And hope to see you soon in the next video when I do the rose. So take care, stay safe, and see you soon.